All right, everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome back to Ron's World. Your host Ron here, and today we're gonna be talking about the RTX 3050. Yes, a great 8 GB gaming card that plays 1080p at its best. And the thing I like about that though is that it has your ray tracing, it has your DLSS, it has your RTX Studio, and the RTX 3060 Ti and the RTX 3070 have a baby sister to join the lineup. That's right, you got your big sisters, the RTX 3080, the RTX 3090. You got your sisters, the 3070 and the 3060 Ti, and the 3060 12 GB, but I'm not going to be talking about the 12 GB because that is 4 GB of VRAM that the RTX 3050 don't have. Now, enough said with that. Let's go over the specs of each card, and we could go ahead on to see how they differ from each other. All right, everybody. Now, as you see, we got the RTX 3050, the RTX 3060 Ti, and the RTX 3070. Now, on the RTX 3050, you got your CUDA cores is 2560, your boost clock is 1777 megahertz, your base is 1552. Memory is at 8 GB. Memory interface is at GDDR6 for all three of them. Ray tracing on the second gen, tensor cores on the third gen. It has Ampere technology. Now, just like I said, it has the ray tracing and the DLSS added on into it. Now, I know a lot of people don't play with ray tracing and DLSS on. Some do, but it really don't make a difference. You got a great 8 GB gaming card that could join the 3060 and the 3070 lineup. Alright, the resolution is at 7680 by 4320. It has 3 display ports and 1 HDMI. The card length is 9.5 inches by 4.4 inches. It's a dual slot, so it's going to take up 2 slots. The total board power is 130 watts. Required power is 550 watt plus. The reason why I said 550 watt plus because with the 550, that is the required basic power to power the card, but you can increase the power supply if you're going to overclock the card. Yes, this card is overclockable. You can go ahead and get the boost frequency of 1777 megahertz. It has an 8-pin connector. The release date was January 27th, 2022 at MSRP $249.99. You can say about $250 and some change, a little after tax. But the MSRP is $249.99. Now, compared it with the RTX 3060 Ti, CUDA cores is at 48664, boost clock is at 1665 megahertz, the base is at 1410 megahertz. Just like I said, it holds up to 8 GB, GDDR6, ray tracing second gen, tensor cores third gen, has the Ampere technology, and it has DirectX 12 and NVIDIA Studio on all 3 cards. The 3070 as well is VR ready except for the 3050. The 3050 is not VR ready, and you will not be able to go ahead and use any virtual reality devices to go ahead and play your games at virtual reality settings. So the display ports, you got 3 display ports and 1 HDMI. The card width is the length to height is 9.5 inches to 4.4 inches. The slot is dual slot. Total board power on the 3060 Ti is 200 watts. Required power supply is 60 watt plus. The reason why I said 600 watts plus because your basic is at 600 if you're not overclocking. But if you're going to overclock it, it's good to go 650, 700, etc. So you go ahead and get that max boost performance off the card. Connectors are one PCIe 8-pin. The release date was December 2nd, 2020. Retail MSRP price was $399.99. Now, your RTX 3070 has 5,888 CUDA cores. Boost clock is at 1725. Base is at 1500 megahertz, 8 gigabyte. Memory interface is GDDR6, 2nd gen ray tracing, 3rd gen tensor cores. Architecture is Ampere. It has DirectX 12 and NVIDIA Studio, and it is VR ready, so you can connect your VR devices to the card, except for the 3050. But just like me, if I had this card, yes, I said if I had it because I went to Best Buy the day of launch and they were sold out. So I walked in and politely walked out. Card length is at 9.5 inches by 4.4. That's what all three of them. Dual slot. Total board power is 220 watts. Recommended power supply is 650 watts. Now, if you want to overclock it, it's best to go ahead and increase your power supply to 750 minimum. Connectors is one PCIe 8-pin. Release date was 10/29/2020, and the MSRP tag was $499.99. Now, with that said, with the MSRP fluctuating, that's the base set. You cannot go wrong with that. With that said, the RTX 3050 is a great gaming card. I'm not gonna call it mid-level because of the price of $249.99. No, I'm not gonna call it a mid-level game. I'm calling it a high-end gaming card. Anything over 8 gigabyte plus is for high-end. Now, your base plate is at 1080p. That's what NVIDIA focused on. Because if you connect this here to a 1440p monitor, your frame per second rate is going to drop. Now, if you have it on the 1080p monitor playing with your certain titles you love, you're going to get some decent frame FPS over 90 to like 150. All depends on what game you're playing. Now, a lot of people happy, but are they happy? Because just like I said, I went to Best Buy hoping I could get this card. But once again, you walk in, you go to the GPU section, and it's an empty showcase. It is what it is. You cannot get mad with it. So the people who went out and bought this card on launch day, I hope y'all happy with it. And I hope you're enjoying it. All right, let's go ahead and get into the MSRP price tag. And we could go ahead and see. Now, along with that, we have the Radeon RX 6500 XT that came out January 19th of this year. A lot of people wasn't happy with it, but see, a lot of people missed one key thing. When they had listed the games for the Radeon RX 6500 XT, 4 gigabyte, it is your mid-level gaming card. You can only play certain titles with this card. Everybody threw all their heavy high-end rendering titles at this card, and it didn't give good performance. With this card, you would get under 80 FPS. 80 is okay for me, but for an extreme gamer who play their games on the regular and they want great performance, they want the refresh to go ahead on and power the frames good, crisp, clean and clear, this card's not for you. But for a basic level, that's why I'm just going to go ahead and say the basic mid-level gaming card or display card. That's why you're going to go ahead and call this another display GPU. It can play moderate game titles, but a lot of people wasn't happy. The MSRP tag when the GPU was launched of the RX 6500 XT was 4 GB. The Radeon RX 550 4 GB was 110, and yes, I throw the Radeon RX 552 GB in there, which was $90. Alrighty, now the RTX 3050 MSRP is $249. The RTX 3060 Ti is $399, and the RTX 3070 when it came out at MSRP when it was launched was at $499.99. Okay, when those MSRP prices fluctuated, everybody was happy. But see, the thing is, everybody talking about, oh, manufacturer suggested retail price. Wrong. There will be no more MSRP tags on any hardware components. You're gonna have to buy at suggested retail price. That means that the manufacturers are allowing the retail stores to raise the bar on how much these products should cost, and you're gonna have to pay for it, whether you like it or not. If you want it, then you go buy it. If you don't want it, then you walk away from it. Now here's the suggested retail price. Just like I said, the suggested retail price are allowing stores to mark the cards up at the price that they should be sold at, directed from the manufacturers. So the manufacturers don't want to see no more MSRP no more because they can't keep them in stock. And then two, when they are in stock, and you notice I'm pausing heavily, when they're not in stock, consumers get mad. So now the MSRP tag price on the Evega X Black, the Gigabyte Eagle, the MSI Venice, the Asus Phoenix 3050 8GB GPU came out at $249. Now, those just show basic cards. Those just show basic. If you want to overclock it, you might burn it out. But the overclocking cards are the most expensive ones, and the overclocking is going to match somewhat similar to the price of the regular 3050 series. Now, the Gigabyte Eagle overclocker is at $349.99. The Evega X Blacks came out, that's when the card came out, at $249.99. Now, if you see them back on stock again, you're not going to see the $249.99. You might see $349.99 or $449.99. Same thing with the Gigabyte Eagle, the MSI Venus, as well as the Asus. Now, the Zotac Twin Edge Overclock Gaming is almost $600. These are cards that suggested retail price are going to be from here on out. So you can go ahead and exit this here $249.99 now, because that don't exist no more. So just keep in mind, if we come back and they come back on the shelves, you're gonna pay more than what they expected. So we're talking about like a 15 to 45 to 50% markup, because manufacturing wants retail stores to raise these cards at what they should be sold at, not what the manufacturers be sold at. They came up with another product that's great. It is what it is. You can't get it, you can't buy it because it's sold out. All right, let's get into the sold out from now. This is coming from Newegg, and you cannot. Now, when it came out, in less than 10 minutes, there was out of stock. The Evega GeForce RTX 3050 XC Black. The Asus ROG GeForce 3050 8GB, which is going for $489. Now, y'all keep in mind, back in 2021 and 2020, Asus did an article stating that they are raising their prices on everything, from their pre-built gaming keyboards, gaming mouse, gaming headphones, GPUs, and motherboards. So it is what it is. You have to pay the price for them. Now, as you go down, you see out of stock. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. All of them out of stock. Just like I sit down and said, the overclocking is $399 by Zotac. And the Asus Dual GeForce RTX 3050 8GB is $439.99. Now, the reason why the retail stores are marking up because they're going to their third-party vendors such as now the scalpers. They want a piece of the pie. Some of these cards are overpriced, but if you want the card, you're gonna have to pay the new SRP. That's it. $399, $439, $349, $329. You know, it just $379, $489. You know, it is what it is, and there's no way of getting out of it. You want it, you buy it. You just say, you know what, I could go and buy and get me like old GPU that could probably play your Minecraft, your Fortnite, and certain titles at medium to low settings. That's great, because that's what a lot of people are really going back to, is to go into the old GPU market, buying the GTX 980s, the 970s, the 1080s, the RTX 20 series, you name it, they're getting it and they're enjoying it. Okay, now the final thought. Okay, the only thing that I like about this card is that it is a 8GB GPU. I'm gonna put it on the high end level because 8 is better than 4, 8 is better than 3, 8 is better than 2GB. So you got a high end, nice gaming card that you can go ahead and play your games at 1080p settings. Now the downside of it is that when you go ahead on and put it on 1440p, you're gonna go ahead and see your FPS drop. I had watched a lot of my subscribers such as Tech Yes City, J2 Cents, Paul Hardware. They discussed it Bitwit. They all discussed it. I'll be putting their video links in the description below, so y'all can go ahead and watch it, you know, and understand the card. So when they do come back on the market, you have the option to buy it or walk away from it. About 70% is going to buy it, 30% going to say, you know what, I don't need it. My old hardware is still performing good, and that's what it is. Now, on the advertising side of NVIDIA, as I was watching the video, one thing I did not like is that they compared the RTX 3050 to the 1650 4GB card. Yes, it's a 50 series, but that was a wrong, you know, advertising point where you comparing a newer card that has more abilities than an old card that has less abilities and less VRAM. Now, the card it should be compared to was the 1660 Super and the 1660 OC. Now, when Jay from J2 Cents compared those cards, it was about neck and neck. You know, the RTX 3050, because of the more VRAM, you know, edged the 1660 a little bit, but it was pretty much neck and neck. So in certain titles, so I'll be putting, like I said, I'll be putting Take Yes City, J2 Cents, Paul's Hardware, and Bitwit video description link. Video links in the description below, so y'all can go ahead and watch the video and get your own understanding perspective of the GPU. But on the other hand, the brain hand about it, the RTX 3050 is here to stay. We got a new gaming card and a new sister to join the lineup, and you can't be wrong with it. The 3060 Ti is happy with their little sister, their baby sister, as well as the 3070 is happy with their baby sister. So other than that, when these cars come back online, you have to go ahead and buy them, and y'all can enjoy playing y'all games at its best. Alright everybody, thank y'all for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.